Hello everybody. Today we are having a modular day. So I brought my Eurorack modules with me, my little system. But first I will show you what I run through. I run through VCV rack, and then I have a sound card in my rack that I go in with the sound. And then I go into this, it's called ES8, and then I go from the input on my ES8 into here, send it through a mixer, and then out another sound card to the speakers here, or what I'm recording to. And that's the only thing you actually need to know. And then, well, I have a MIDI to CV, so I can play on the push if I want to. And then I have a tuner, because oscillators need to be tuned, otherwise they're not sounding right. But I will go to this. So right now, because of the camera, I can't zoom. It is what it is right here. What I will show that I have actually one more case up here. And this is the sound card that is connected to a USB, and then my inputs here. And then a lot of other modules, but we're not gonna play with these today. We're gonna just play with this one. So how it's built is that you buy an empty case, and then you say, okay, I need some modules. So this one up here is called Polygogo. Unfortunately, the company went bankruptcy, so it's well, good for me and bad, because now I can't get it fixed if it's broken. But the price will go up on this module. So this is an oscillator, and I will go into that later. Then the next one we have is a filter. It's a stereo filter, because this oscillator is a stereo oscillator. Then over here we have an amplifier, a VCA, volts, a quad VCA. So I have 4 amplifiers in that, sorry. And then I have this 3PT is right now set as a 3 LFOs, and it can do some other stuff. It can do chords if I have an oscillator that can split the signals. It can do random, it can do different stuff. Then we have the Euclidean circles 2, which is a trigger I use for this module over here. That is a drum module. Beside that, you can see I'm gonna push this to the side. Then you can see I have just an input that I can enhance the signal from the drums, because they're a little bit not too loud. So I can push the signal with this one. Then down here is my mixer. I have a 4-channel mixer that can go with 2 send and returns. So 2 over here and 2 over here, and I choose them by having these on 0. Then there's nothing. Over here is to this side over here, and to this side it's this one. And then I can go panning and volume and mute on these buttons. I'll take it over here again. This. Cool. Then over here we have a reverb, that is a reverb, and you will hear that later, that it is a really nice reverb that you can do a lot of fun things with. Then we have Disting EX. I'm pretty sure I'm going to sell this, because this is kind of a what we call a switcher knife. It has like everything in here. It has oscillators, LFOs, envelopes, whatever, but you can see the screen in here is so small, and I don't like to have everything in a box with 4 knobs. I just like to have the buttons as they are. Then we have over here is mimic, it is very hard for me to say, mimic digitalis from noise engineering. This is a sequencer, but it is a random generated sequencer. Then over here we have a quad envelope generator, so it can run 4 different envelopes in one module. It's pretty nice. Then we have a resonance filter that can also be a oscillator, because the filter can resonate. So it kind of produces a sine tone as well, and a pretty pure one. Over here, this is an oscillator as well, so even VCO. And this is nice because it has this octave shift, so we can change the octave on a knob. And then last but not least, we have Pamela's workout, and that is the brain of the whole thing. So this is the clock, and I can generate 8 different clocks from this. So if I turn this on, you can see right now it blinks, and this is the BPM. But then I can choose that this is 4 times faster, or 16 times faster, or 4 times slower, or I can divide or multiply the signal. And that's our main clock for drums or sequences or whatever. But that was what is in this case, and as you see, I have one more case as well, so it's not small and it's not cheap. These 2 boxes, and I didn't buy it used or anything, so this is, the 2 boxes here is about 90,000 kronas. So each module here, this module is kind of just 5,000 kronas, 3,500, 1,000, 1,500, 1,500, 3,800, 500 kronas for the little input. So you get the picture. It is not cheap to do this, but the cool thing is that when I started just with 3 modules: the Verb, the Q-Pass, and I'm gonna bring this down again. This Morphigene down up here, that is a looper and a, well, yeah, it is a loop, a granular looper, if you can say it like that. And that was the 3 modules I bought to begin with. So I didn't have an oscillator or anything. So what I did next was buying the ES8 sound card that I can go to VCV rack, and then I could put everything in there. Cool. Let's try and hear some of the modules. What we can do is then we take this, just a chord, and say I want this. You can see red is out, green is in, black is modulators, and gold is volts per octave, so pitch. But let's put this in and crank up the mixer. So now we have this static sound, and that's an oscillator just saying one sound, but I can open it up. You can see this nice screen here. And you can see it's built out of polygons, so right now you can see there's a gap here. I can click this and it will be rhythmical instead. When I push this, I can take the sides of the polygon and move to the middle. It will be more. Then you can see when this is up, there's a line going to this wave shaper. Pretty aggressive. It's a wave folder. Then these ones are FM. So when I start to this is a ratio that it's and then finally we have FM in, so I can take from here, I can take like a sine wave from here, put that in here and FM that. So that's what that does. I'm gonna take that out because that's pretty annoying to listen to. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this one and put in through a filter. And because it's stereo, I put it in the input, and then I can choose out here the output. So low pass, band pass, high pass, and then we have something called smile pass. But let's just take low pass and fire it into an amplifier. And from the amplifier, we're going to take the all signal from here and fire it in the mixer. Still no sound because now we control volume. So you can see you have to like connect everything to get sound, and that's the fun part about this, is you have total control over what's going to happen. So what I can do next is I can take this envelope here and get a trigger from the Pamela. So if I can play on this, you can see now things starts to blink, and you can see it's connected everything, but it's only the first up here that is kind of working. So what we can do next is that we can take the output of the envelope here and put into CV. That means the modulation knob here. Press that in, and when I open this, now it has this pulse. Whenever this blinks, it will play a sound. I can open up for one of the sides, both sides. Now we have this, and now we can control this with an envelope. That's all cool. So now we just need something to play the melody or do some pitch. We also have our filter with some resonance. So this is just the cutoff, the frequency, the resonance over here. I can put it full up, and then have this sound. And again, we want this to sound nice, so we're gonna put some reverb on with a send and return track. So these are the output from the reverb goes into this. So when I crank up this, there should be reverb when it gets the signal from this channel. So let's go and send that into the reverb and hear that. Something like that. We can. Now we have this. So what's next? Now we can take this, or we can, yeah, we'll just take this, you can see, and put into our sequencer. Now you can see it start to run. Yeah, and trust me, there's gonna be a lot of wires when we're done here. controlling the Q pass filter. But now you can see this dot goes, and if I take number 1 corresponds to this number 1 and I hit 0, it will delete all the pitch files that's in here. So now when I'm in the bottom, I'm pretty sure that nothing is going out. And then I'm gonna connect the gold one to the next gold one, so our volts per octave. So now nothing happens until I hit this. So now it makes this pitch noise that it random generated from that. But you can see the over here we have our lamp that's blinking, and that's because we have a 100 BPM. So I can go over, remove that so you can see the screen. There we go. So you can see the first one times 1. We're gonna take the next one, the second here, press that. So now this goes 4 times faster. So let's take the first one and go 4 times faster. So this one up here, I don't like, so I can freeze it. This one, and then I can change. That was better. Take the pretty nice. We can also take the signal from this and modulate the FM. So let's split that signal. You can see I'm taking this out. I'm taking the yellow one here because that has kind of, you can see it here. It has like, so I can stack them. So I'm gonna put that here, and then I'm gonna stack this on top of that. Now I can control now we got this other sound. But before I change the pitch and take this, we'll take that out and open up. So we get this static sound, because then I'm going to this one, and you can see this is a B3, so now I have to have this on C. There we go. Now I can go over here again and set this in. Now it's tuned. Whoops. Wrong thing. This one should go here and into here. So now it's tuned. Now I would like to have some kind of bass. So I'm gonna take this one, take a sine tone, and I will put that in input here, and then I'm gonna take this out and take this one. Take the volume down a little bit and open up for the third here. And then gonna take this output here and open up for this and hit the third and take under here out into the mixer. Now to only have this without any envelope, it's just open and close the gate, right? But everything fits because it's still on the same BPM and on the same, that goes from the, you see this is the first one. But if I take the third, you can see third, hold this button in, I can make this a Euclidean circle as well. So I'll say 8 steps, and then I want triggers to be 5. Something like that. Cool. Maybe some reverb on this. You can hear, because it's only a gate that opens up. We can't control the length of the track. So what we'll do is we are gonna take this gate from here and put into this gate down here and choose the second one, so we don't get the clicks and pops from that sound. And then we're gonna put this on the third here. Now we have this a lot more soft song or sound, sorry. Cool. So now we come to the drum part. So again, I need this. I'm gonna take this down here. And you can see if I put it up in the Euclidean circles and a clock, this will start to move, but very, very slow. So let's going to take the 8th and crank it up to 8. So right now you can see it will turn around, but on this camera you can't see there's a pink light here, a yellow and a yellow. And that means that from the drum rack I'm going to take out into my input over here, from my input into the mixer here. There we go. Turn that up. And then we're gonna trigger a kick from the first one here. So let's just take this. That's number 1. Go into the trigger on the kick. Now we have this. Let's just have it go on 4th. And then I need another one that's going to reset this. Yeah, just my finger is enough. So I'm gonna reset this. So you can see now it blinks every time it resets. So I'm gonna take number 7 and reset that, divided by 8. Reset, back, 2, 3, reset. So this one is the kick, and these are mute buttons. So let's have a snare as well. We'll take number 2, so this one, and hit in trigger. And this one on 3. Let's take trigger from the last part up here. So you can see this is red, blue. So I know the blue is my kick. It could be a snare, it's what I decide. There's a whole, it's a drum synth and a sample trigger as well. So I need to tune this as well to a C. Very hard to tune. It goes from the one side. There we go. It's close enough, so now we can hear the bass. So they go in hand, and then I can take the kick and snare. There we go. Take this one as well. There's gonna take this and make like a filter envelope. So it goes with the bass. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, we made this in half an hour just by putting up these wires and setting all things together, so you can see the sound goes from the oscillator into a filter that goes into an amplifier and then goes into the mixer. Then we have another bass oscillator that goes into the other part of the amplifier and goes into another track. Then we have a drum session over here, and then we have just a reverb. So right now I can also change random generated melodies. Let's try and take the BPM up from 100 to 100 and let's say 130. Up. And we can also try and stop the whole thing. And right now, this still have a tone. Where is this coming from? Oh, here. So we have this tone. I'm gonna put that in again. I have turned it up. But what I want to show is this reverb, that the decay here, if we take the size all the way down, we can kind of oscillate this with the decay. You can hear, this is how the reverb sounds, but then we can tilt it, kind of like a filter, almost. And then we can make this modulate. And this is the speed of we can so we don't absorb it, or we can take the size. Okay, keeps getting bigger. The cool thing is that we can take the signal from the decay, so you can see it produces, if you see it here, it produces a CV at how much sound there is. I can take that out and go into this, so now I can push that full, and then I control how much it will get, so it can never go over a certain amount. This tone. We can go backwards. And that's just the reverb without any input. There's no input. I can turn the input down completely, so that it doesn't get any sound at all. It's just the reverb that's producing this sound. That was a little walkthrough through one of my cases, and of course I have two. Couldn't get the camera away enough so I can see everything, but yes, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and yeah, if you got the courage to start your own modular thing, you don't have to start the way I did, with just buying all the shit. No, I didn't buy it at once. It took me 2 years to get all of it, but I bought it everything for new. You can look online on Den Blå Avis or Facebook groups or whatever to buy used modules. So that's also a way to start. You can find anything in there. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Well, that was it for this small little seminar here at Lab Time at Rumkraft. So please tune in on next Wednesday, and see you there. Bye.